You're listening to the John and Heidi Show. Now, featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
Sunny 93.3. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Mr. Dan Farris.
Hey, top of the morning to you, Smalls.
Morning.
Happy 5th of July, which isn't quite as popular as 4th of July.
It's not, but still it's a long holiday weekend, and everybody just kind of vibing and grooving.
And that's the cool thing about the 4th falling like it did this year, you know, like right on a Thursday. A lot of people have today off.
And a lot don't.
And, well, there's some of us that don't. But those who do have the day off, then they got, you know, Saturday and Sunday off. Like, next Monday is going to feel so weird when they have to go back to work.
They're going to be whining, be all whiny.
I have to work again.
Well, this is a big day. This happens to be a Bikini Day.
Ooh.
Bikini changed the course of the
beachside
fashion world.
Just kidding.
I just came from church, John, so...
We just thought it was because it was Casual Friday.
Just keep it up. Happens to be the anniversary of the unveiling, the invention of the whole whatever of 1946.
That's awesome.
When the bikini first hit.
Really?
Took the world by storm.
Yeah, and it didn't catch on right away. There were a lot of people who didn't like that.
Oh, there were a lot of people who didn't like it.
It was a bit much, or a bit little, when you boil it down.
A little too revealing for some.
Yeah, Parisian fashion designer Louis Réard created that bad boy. And
little scraps of cloth laying around.
Well, it created a lot of jobs. Bikini hit, and then in short order, the bikini wax as we know it, and people need to do those things. So actually, the pebble in the pond became pretty huge. So
quite the ripple. Well,
Bikini Day.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Mr. Dan Farris on Sunny 93.3.
Do you have a credit card? Is it the very best credit card? Many people get their credit card as a response to an offer that was mailed to you. These are typically not the best cards. Check the fine print for the fees and interest. We have a website that compares many different cards being offered so you can find the one that's the best fit for you. If you'd like to find a better credit card, we'd love to help at bettercreditcards.net. There's no obligation. Just click and compare to see if we can get you a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net.
Sunny 93.3, time now for Ranger Dan's Critter Corner.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
Hi, Ranger Dan.
Morning,
Ranger Dan.
Morning, little chillin', you little rascals, you. little radio.
Why does this make us laugh?
I don't know.
I still think we need a billboard that says, "We crack us up." I think that's what we need.
If we can't amuse ourselves, what the heck good? And again, and this is important stuff because I am, of course, a ranger by my own design. And we talk a lot about God's little critters, creatures. They fly, they crawl, they buzz, they kill you, whatever. But it is camping season, so I want to just take, I think, perhaps the next couple segments of this fine award-winning program and talk about some of the things we have at our disposal with our state parks.
Oh, yeah.
Here in the great state of South Dakota. For instance, Newton Hills State Park.
It's nice.
Most everybody's familiar with Newton Hills. It's a short drive, and all of a sudden, you're in nature.
Yeah. It's like
nature's everywhere.
It's all around you.
And when I say nature, that's what I mean. Look at you go, that's pretty neat. That's nature. Newton Hills State Park, named after William Newton, who settled that area back in the 1850s.
He's the guy that invented the fig Newton, isn't he?
His great-grandfather invented the fig Newton.
I love fig Newtons.
Who doesn't, Heidi? Newton's wife was also a midwife.
Really?
Yeah, and up until the 1870s, she was the only European-American north of Vermilion who could deliver babies.
No.
Oh.
And dispense...
midwifery service was pretty popular then.
And dispense medical cures and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
In case you don't know, glaciers created the narrow strip of rolling hills and forest that is part of the geological formation called the, and this is French, the Côte des Prairies.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that's pronounced exactly right as well.
The French have a different word for everything. It's not important. So Newton Hills, you can camp there, give them some money. There's basketball, there's biking, there's bird watching, boating, camping, all kinds of stuff going on.
You can also do camper watching, which is fun.
And here's the thing, and Newton Hills is part of my territory that I patrol.
Oh, nice.
And as a ranger, again, I don't really give a rip what you do, but don't you let me catch you wearing Crocs.
Crocs are out.
That's a tasing, my friend.
That's right.
And
rightfully so. And I would love to be there to videotape the tasing of the people in the Crocs.
I do have a hike-along program, Heidi.
Good.
For all the little radio rangers.
He's a self-proclaimed ranger with a taser.
Now,
This is
children,
dangerous.
little radio rangers, ask your parents for permission, but you can go to my Facebook page and sign up to do a hike along with Ranger Dan.
Oh, you'll find all of that at Sunny Radio, or you won't. Thanks for listening to Sunny 93.3.
The inventor of Rip It gloves has been a drywall guy for decades. He was trying to find gloves that worked for him and his crew, but nothing was quite right. So he went out and created some. Rip It gloves fit firm in your hand and protect your hands, but still allow you to use a touchscreen. Professional athletes love the extra grip Rip It gloves gives them. Painters, roofers, contractors, but also motorcycle and horseback riders. See why everyone loves Rip It gloves at ripitgloves.com. Use promo code radio to save 25%. That's RIPIT gloves.com, promo code radio.
Sunny 93.3, time now for Water Cooler Talk with Mr. Dan Farris.
I wear out shoe leather, I bang on desks, I demand answers.
Yes, you do.
Or else I'll find a local story that's several days old and just rebarf it to you. Really kind of depends on my mood. All kinds of things going on in the world. There's this, that, there's wars, there's famine, there's I don't know what's going on. We got babies in cages being eaten by dingoes on the border. I really don't know.
I don't think any of that's quite
None of that is probably accurate at all, but this is the truth because it's been leading the news for about a 72-hour cycle here locally.
Oh, yeah.
We're getting a Dave and Buster's.
Everybody's pretty excited
Oh, we
about
are?
that.
I hadn't even seen that.
How did you...
Wait, I am only talking to Heidi. John, stay out.
I'm wondering...
Wait. Wait.
I'm on the sidelines to watch, too.
Yeah, Heidi, we're getting a Dave and Buster's.
Really?
Yep, they're going to plug it in over by Lake Lorraine, which ain't a lake at all, but that's what they call it because it sounds cool. Yep.
Lorraine doesn't sound right.
It just doesn't. The chain known for its large kid and adult-friendly arcade, games, prize center, and a full bar.
Well, see, now I'll go.
Place is probably going to rock.
It's going to be interesting.
We've only been to one once. I think I've only been to
Did
one.
you like it?
Did we even go to one? Where did we go to one?
It was after my aunt's funeral. We went with the whole family.
Well, where else would you go after burying a relative?
Well, that's what my family does.
I do remember
I don't know
that
what your traditions are, Dan. Don't you judge me.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm Polish Catholic. We were hammered at the funeral.
Right?
Dan, her funeral processions go through a drive-through liquor store.
You ever been to
They just do.
an authentic Polish Catholic funeral? Oh, my. Oh, yes.
And we're Irish Catholics.
Yeah.
So,
It's not one of those things where people
I'm just
want to
the
avoid.
designated driver, so.
So Dave and Buster's is coming, and,
that's interesting.
that's fine. I'm a huge fan of maybe someday if we behave, we will get a Chick-fil-A.
I think we will.
Maybe we'll get an In-N-Out burger. I'm also a big fan. And because
Jack in the Box, too.
Because I'm a Twin Cities kid,
White Castle.
White Castle
Yeah.
would be
Our
awesome.
son would love that.
Yeah,
Dave and Buster's expected to open by the middle of next year, so there you go.
yeah, that's really
Well,
cool.
interesting.
So, I'm not nearly as excited as everybody else because their online people are so darn excited about it. But I think it's going to be cool, and I'm excited for the people who are excited. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Join us for a fun week in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic for the 3rd annual 80s in the Sand. We've been there the last 2 years. In addition to making a bunch of awesome new friends, we had so much fun meeting 80s actors and musicians. 80s in the Sand takes over the entire resort, so you'll mingle with them at the pools and the restaurants too. We'd love to have you join us. See the amazing lineup featuring Sammy Hagar and many more at radiotravelgroup.com. Save $200 per person for first-time guests at radiotravelgroup.com.
Sunny 93.3, thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Mr. Dan Farris. Coming up here in just a couple of days, we got this new thing. It's called National Cut the Cord Day. Yeah, that's pretty cool. We've got an Amazon spokesperson. Delaney is joining us from Amazon. We're going to chat about National Cut the Cord Day. How you doing, Delaney?
Hi, John. I'm so well. How are you?
Fantastic. Now, the way people are watching television is changing in a big way, and National Cut the Cord Day is coming up this weekend. Now, how long has National Cut the Cord Day been going on?
That's a great question. I'm not so sure, but I think that it's pretty new, right? The way we're the way we're watching TV is new. I think it's a new holiday that's really meant to celebrate streaming. If you're a Netflix fan or an HBO fan, this is kind of your day to celebrate your love of TV.
And now you guys have a thing, Amazon Prime. That's another one. There's the Hulu, the Netflix, all these different things. And I remember just a few years ago, I remember saying, because the big phrase back then was Netflix and chill. And I had never done that before. I didn't have that technology. I didn't use that. So when a kid was talking about, this week I'm going to Netflix and chill, I said, yeah, I'm going to probably just VHS and stress. And, that was my little joke. But now I do have the technology, and I understand why people like it so much. It's pretty darn convenient, isn't it?
It's super convenient. Prime Video is on the list as well of some of my favorite places to watch content. And if you're kind of a fan of all of these different things, right, you're going to love shows across multiple streaming services. You're going to want to watch Orange is the New Black on Netflix. You're going to want to watch The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel on Prime Video. And you're even going to probably want to watch live news and sports and all of these different things. So National Cut the Cord Day is this time where we like to celebrate Fire TV. It's all of the streaming services that you love on one piece of hardware. So you can plug that Fire TV stick into the back of your TV and watch everything you love. And you can cut the cord if you want to. You can keep cable and add streaming. But we actually find that about 34% of all U.S. households are going to be cord-cutting households by the end of this year. So the momentum is really there about discovering all these streaming options and making the hardware work for you.
And I know there's quite a migration. A lot of people that are getting rid of the expensive cable and they're switching over to these. And like you were mentioning, a lot of people have more than one service. But when you're going from $150 a month for, cable or dish to $10 a month for Prime or Amazon, you can afford to have 2 or 3 of those, can't you?
Yeah, and it's really custom, right? Some people are going to find one thing they love and they want to stick with it. But for me, I love watching a ton of different content. And when I was cutting the cord, I just did a little bit of research because it was super important to me, and no judgment, John. I really wanted to watch The Real Housewives. And I was so nervous that I was going to lose Bravo if I cut the cord. But I found that once I just signed up for Hulu plus Hulu Live, which is their streaming service, their live streaming service, I could watch all the sports that I wanted to. I could watch Real Housewives. My boyfriend was very happy. He was very nervous that once we cut the cord, he was not going to be able to watch basketball anymore. So there's just one of those options out there for every household, and I ended up saving about $75 a month. That's
amazing. For somebody that wants to make sure they get specific things, do you have an idea of where they could find those particular things online?
Everything's going to be a little bit different, but make sure to do your research. There's services like Hulu or PlayStation View, which is a streaming service, or Sling, that are going to have all those channels that you want to watch if you want to maintain access to live content. If you don't need live content, you are going to save a ton of money by just switching 100% to on-demand, which is great. I feel like when I had cable, I felt like I had to babysit my DVR. I'd wake up and make sure I queued up all my shows for that night. With on-demand, you don't really need to think about it ahead of time. It's just all there waiting for you when you get home, and you can browse around. So definitely do your research on where the content is streaming based on your location. It changes by location depending on the way that the channels are licensed. But once you figure out where all that is and what services you need to sign up for after you've canceled cable, Fire TV is one of the best things you can do to plug into that TV. Make sure you're still using that big, beautiful screen in your living room or your bedroom. And unlocking access to all those channels is a really great way to celebrate National Cut the Cord Day.
Where do you find the Fire TV? How does somebody go by getting that?
You can go to Amazon.com or open the Amazon app on your phone. With Prime Day coming up, there's going to be incredible deals I would keep an eye out for. Save some money there, too.
Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us this morning.
Thanks, John.
Again, this Sunday is National Cut the Cord Day. All of the information on how you can find this Amazon Fire TV, we'll throw a link to all of that at facebook.com/sunnyradio. Credit cards, they can be trouble. About 12 years ago, we did a debt snowball program and got rid of our credit cards. We were debt-free except for our house. It was awesome. But over the course of the next decade, our credit score went down. That sounds weird, but they need open accounts to give you a score. Our lower score made our insurance rates go up. We decided to get a credit card to help with that. We just pay it off every month. If you want a better credit card, check out bettercreditcards.net. They'll help you compare all the different cards to get the best one for you. That's bettercreditcards.net. Sunny 93.3, time now for entertainment news of the day with Mr. Earth-shattering news, Dan Farris.
A celebrity.
Fabulous.
A fabulous.
I'm excited. You said ahead of time it's going to be earth-shattering.
This is enormous, because I think I mentioned this story over the past couple of weeks, a couple times. Gloria Vanderbilt, of course, passed away.
Yes.
Age 95 a few weeks back. And I had mentioned, because it was all over the news, and this was how it was pertained, that goofball son Anderson Cooper,
right,
on CNN, would not get any inheritance from that was preordained as he was growing up, being told by his parents, hey, you got to work for it. You'll be much better suited if you make your own way. And that's what he did. And looks like he's getting everything. His story just broke, man. Anderson Cooper set to inherit pretty much everything the woman owned.
What?
Okay. So did she not have her
She was just bluffing.
It says that Vanderbilt's will, which was filed last Monday in Manhattan.
It was written by Anderson Cooper last Sunday in Manhattan.
No, the will stipulates that.
It all goes to him.
And he just gets it. Yeah. Anderson's real name, by the way, Leopold.
Really?
Stokowski.
So where did Anderson Cooper come from?
It's
a stage name, John.
Of all the stage names, why Anderson Cooper?
It worked for him.
Why does he ask me stuff like this?
I know.
He just throws junk at me left and right, and I just sit here, man.
Know
it's like,
why.
This was an homage to somebody.
No, and you always need to keep in mind that I literally don't care about any of this.
That's true. That's why we put you in charge, Dan.
Not even a little. But yeah, just
or even less than you do.
Just her net worth, and this is before, jewelry and property and everything else she has going, plus business interests.
Right.
$200 million.
Okay.
Wow.
In there. So, Anderson, if there's any luck at all, he'll get off my television.
That would be awesome.
I doubt
because
it.
he don't need to know.
So he'll just buy his own network is what he'll do, Dan.
That'd be fantastic.
It'll be the Anderson Cooper network. Or the Leopold, whatever we called it, network.
Yeah, this smug little well-groomed network.
Well, thank you for that up-to-the-minute report, Mr. Dan Farris.
We're all stunned.
Yes, the world is sitting on the edge of their seat waiting to see what Dan will say next. But you'll have to wait till Monday. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. This has been the Dan Farris bonus hour. Thanks, Dan.
My pleasure.